Christ has now reconciled you to present you holy and undefiled. That's what Paul says in his letter to the Colossians. And so Jesus does. That even as we honor the woman that he chose to be the mother of his son, this woman without any stain of sin from the first moments of her conception is one whom we honor this morning on this Saturday. But as we hear in the gospel, there's Jesus and his companions. They're working so hard in bringing the good news to others. He's performing one miracle after another of healing, multiplication of the loaves, even raising the dead, giving sight to the blind. And there they are. They're so busy, and now they're hungry. They have nothing really to eat. And if you can imagine going through a field of grain that's already been, it was just a refuge. It was the refuge that was left over. They go through and they pick the heads of grain one by one. What do? They put it in their hands. I don't know if you've ever done that with full grain, ripe grain. You put the head in your hand and you rub it, push it back and forth. It knocks off all the husks, the outer membrane, so you just have the kernel of grain to eat. And that's all they were eating. And the Pharisees would even deny him that. It's a Sabbath. They didn't care whether they were starving. Just don't do it on the Sabbath, So Jesus kind of puts them in their place. Don't you remember what David did? Of course, they honored David, king of Israel, and the head of that then community in a sense. And yet, Jesus would be born in that very town. They would not recognize him. He was Joseph's son, a carpenter from Nazareth, not from David, or not from Bethlehem. And really, where is he from? Heaven itself. The Word that was with God, the Word was God, and humbled himself to make his dwelling upon us and with us through the fiat, the yes of this woman whom we honor this morning, Mary. That she would say yes to the Lord. May your will be done in me. I'm the handmaid of the Lord. May it be done as you say. And so it was. And her life was turned upside down from that moment on. But she knew she was following in the footsteps of this little baby that she would conceive and bear in Bethlehem, would become the Savior of the world. And so today we thank God for the gift of our Blessed Mother Mary, and for the fact that through her Son, the Son of God, that we have been given this fleshly body of Jesus in the Eucharist, the bread come down from heaven. And so we can trust, as Paul says, that he is the one without blemish, irreproachable before the Lord, provided that you persevere in faith, firmly grounded, stable, and not shifting from the hope of the gospel that you heard, which has been preached to every creature under heaven, which Paul ministers to. And so you and I must do the same thing. A little later this morning, we'll be celebrating a funeral mass for what I consider a young woman. 61 is young. She's been battling cancer for 6 years. Her name is Mary Therese Gordon. She passed a little over a week ago, last weekend, after a courageous battle. And what was her weapon? Her faith, and that she had such a positive attitude about life. They say when you walked in the room, her smile would melt anybody's fear, anybody's negativity. She wouldn't see that, hear that, And so we will honor her body with Christian burial today. She and her family, her husband Randy, and their 3 children, along with she's one of 6 children. They're saying that they kind of figured we had at least a couple hundred people here this morning. How is it that a 61-year-old woman who's battled cancer for 6 years could bring that many people all together? Well, it was her attitude and her faith. And like our Blessed Mother Mary, she trusted that the words that were given to her as they were to Mary would be fulfilled. And so today, we not only honor her body with Christian burial, but commend her spirit to the Lord. And I just ask your prayers, not only for me, but for that family, who mourn the loss of their loved one, but nonetheless believe and trust that they will see her again. Through the intercession of our Blessed Mother Mary as well.